Welcome back. Hi, everybody. I'm Michael Baker with the Baker Global team here in beautiful Sarasota and Bradenton, west coast of Florida. And welcome back to the Living the Florida Lifestyle podcast. Uh, we have taken a little bit of a hiatus over the summer, but we're going to come back now. And probably not every week, but at least twice a month, we're going to give updates about what's happening in our marketplace and maybe get some conversations going on because there's a lot of interesting things happening between retail sales and the new constructions, between some of our vendors, some other things. I really want to be able to spend some time talking to you and get you some updated information because our market has changed. Now, let's talk about some of the good things that are happening. We are at the end of October right now, and we are 30 days away from the end of hurricane season. We've got an entire year without a hurricane hitting ground. And let's hope if we get through that, I think that'll change a lot of the mindset of people moving to our area or talking about moving to our area. So that'll help. And then let's talk about what's going on interest rate wise. But you know what? Let's take a moment. Let's talk about what's happening. And remember that we are the Baker Global team with Remax Alliance Group here in Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida. And hey, let's talk about what's going on. I'm not going to use any industry jargon, no hype. I just want to talk truth in real words about how you're going to get your home sold or how you're going to find the right home in today's market. And let's get started now. Now, here's a quick snapshot of what's going on. Our market is shifting. It's not crashing. It's not booming. It's shifting. It's not a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market. It's a market. First off, the median sale price for single family homes here in Sarasota County is sitting around $410,000. Now, that's down roughly 10% from last year. So it's not a crash, but what it is it's an opportunity to be able to find the right home and negotiate the right price. Homes are taking a little bit longer to sell. Sellers are worried about that, but they're taking about 80 to 90 days on average for single family homes. Inventory, yes, it's up by over 20% compared to last year. Buyers are going to get a lot more choices to go find what they want. They can ask for more things. Sellers, you have to work a little bit harder. Now, if you're a condo owner and you've been in this market, you understand that it's been a real soft market for the last year, especially out on the beaches. Some areas were down nearly 18 to 20%. What I'm going to tell you is that if you're selling, you can't just throw a sign up in the yard and throw it up on the road and expect a bidding war. We're no longer in those times. If you're buying, you have finally got time to sit back and look. And then, like I said, it's not a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market. It's more of a balanced market. And that's actually going to be healthy for everyone. So let's talk about what the steps are. Let's talk sellers here. If you're thinking about listing, there are three things you absolutely need to know. Number one, you got to price it right. You got to price it right from day one. Now, overpricing is the kiss of death in this market. Now, buyers are smart. They've got plenty of options. And probably, if you look around your neighborhood, you've seen homes that have been on the market for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and you're competing with them. Now, if you're coming on the market against those, how you going to stand out? And you don't want to chase everybody to the bottom. So you want to put yourself at the best price possible right off the bat. And when you do, you're definitely going to get more looks because that's all about getting eyeballs on your property. And that's what we want to make sure you are in a good conversation with a great real estate team that can help you negotiate yourself where you understand what's going on. You understand what the market looks like, what your neighborhood looks like, what the pricing looks like. Remember, it's not what your neighbor's home sold for 3 years ago. It's what you're competing with in the marketplace today. Now, number two, presentation. You got to make sure your house looks like it's ready to be sold. You got to make sure that when someone comes in and looks at a house or looks at the pictures, there's not a lot of things on the counter. There's not a lot of things laying around. They want to be able to see the house, use their imagination of what the house looks like when they move in. There's a lot of buyers who'll look at a house and see it very well. A lot of things there. And they say, oh, if we put an offer in, it might be hard for them to move out. We might be able to not be able to mount in time. So you don't want to burden the buyer. You don't want to burden you as a seller. You want to make sure that you've got your house presented in a way that when someone walks in, they go, I can live here. This is how I live. I'm ready to go. And so you want to maintain your house. You want to maintain your front door. It's all about curb appeal. You want to make sure that the pictures and when the showing shows up, everybody sees it and they know that, hey, I can live here. This is my home. I'm ready. and they can make an offer. And then number three, marketing and strategy. They definitely matter in this market. You got to have the great photos. You got to have video. You got to put it on all the platforms. That's what we do. I mean, I've got videos on YouTube. We got videos on Instagram. We got videos on Facebook. And we also make sure the MLS has the videos. We want to make sure that your property is getting properly marketed, not only here in the area, but because we are in a destination, we market up to the Northeast. We market up to the Midwest. We market to people that want to come to Florida. And that's important because, hey, it's not just the neighbor down the street that might be looking at your house. Your new neighbors, your new homeowner might be coming from another state. And that's where we come in. That's where we excel. We track what's going on. We track where the people are coming from. And we're not just sitting there waiting for somebody to pick up the phone and call us. We're actively marketing your properties. And we will help you. You're going to adjust quickly. We don't want you to lose momentum. Once we get that sign in the ground, we get all the things going. We want to get some activity happening pretty quick. Remember, in this market, it's not just about getting yourself listed. Our goal is to get you sold. Now, all right, buyers, now it's your turn. Good news. You've got plenty of options. The frenzy is cooled. Homes aren't selling in 3 or 4 days with 10 offers above asking and giving up concessions. Now the sellers have to compete for you. Sellers are competing with concessions. They can help you maybe with interest rate buydowns. But don't make mistake that's for weakness. The best homes still are moving fast with the right price. So let's make sure we have a playbook. First, we got to make sure we got you pre-approved. Get you to a lender. Just give us some numbers to know what we're looking for. We got to know what size house to look for. We don't want to take you out to a $200,000 house if really honestly what you're looking for is a $500,000 house. Or we don't want to take you to a $500,000 house when you can only afford a $300,000 house. Let's make sure we get you in the right place, all the numbers, insurance, taxes, everything. Know our numbers, know what we're looking for, so that when the market hits and when we find that right house, we're not guessing, we're not held back, we're not waiting for things. Remember, the prices prices have come down to a point where we can negotiate and get things back for you. I mean, there's almost 20% reduction in some of these houses. Yeah, that's a good opportunity for you. And finally, let's be decisive. When you find that house that checks all your boxes, let's not wait for that next house. Hey, when we're out looking and we're looking at 5 or 6 houses and the first one is perfect, let's stop and let's make that offer. Let's just not keep looking, because you know what happens then? All of a sudden now you're overwhelmed. Let's find a house that makes you happy. When you walk in, and I like to call it the giddy factor, you walk in and you go giddy because it's the right house for you at the right time. Remember, we can always negotiate down some prices, help them with concessions, help them with closing costs. There's a lot of things we can do, but let's find you the house that makes you happy and then work on it. Remember, waiting could cost you if rates move or someone else comes in first. Someone else might get that giddy feeling before you do. Hey, now let's bust into one of the biggest myths out there. There's a lot of people talking about this, is how the Fed is cutting interest rates. Hey, that's supposed to make buying a home cheaper, right? Well, let's face it, over the last few times they've cut the rates, the mortgage rate's actually gone higher. Remember, the Federal Reserve does not control mortgage rates. They control the short-term overnight lending that banks charge each other, not what you pay for a 30-year mortgage. Mortgage rates follow the 10-year Treasury yield, which moves with inflation. Bond markets and investors' confidence is what drives the rates up and down. So even if the Fed trims rates, mortgage rates might barely move. In fact, sometimes they're even going up because investors worry that lower Fed rates could really heat up inflation and then really hurt the economy. So if you're waiting for mortgage rates to suddenly drop 2 points, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. I think our 3s are going to be out of the market. You're looking maybe 5, 6s is what we're going to be at. I think that's a good, healthy environment for us. Once we talk to our mortgage guys, let's make sure that we understand that we're not going to be looking for a 2 to 3% mortgage rate. You're going to be looking for 4 to 5 to 6% and find a house that fits at that point. Remember, don't let the Fed decide when you buy or sell. Make your move based on your goals, your finances, and your timeline. Remember, the smart people win by working the market they're in, not the one they're hoping for. So why does it still make sense to buy or sell right now? For sellers, you're still sitting on tremendous equity from the last few years. Remember, if you bought your home before the COVID, you probably saw 15, 20% value increase. And homes priced right are absolutely selling. Buyers, you finally have choices. Remember, you can negotiate. We get repairs. We can get credits off of things. And you can take your time to find the right house. And in our market here in Sarasota and Manatee counties, we're still one of the most desirable places to live in all the country, and especially here in Florida. We have sunshine. We've got beaches. We've got great golf. Our communities between Lakewood Ranch, North River, we're growing constantly. Remember, none of that has changed one bit. So we've got new construction happening and we've got retail homes for sale. Let's take a moment. Let's go find that right house for you. So here's my advice. Whether you're ready to list, buy, or just plan ahead, let's have a conversation. I'll give you a free, no pressure snapshot of your home's value or show you what's available in your budget right now. Remember, I'm Michael Baker. I'm with the Baker Global team with Remax Alliance Group here in beautiful Sarasota and Bradenton, Florida. Now, if you found this helpful, I'm just going to ask you, subscribe, share this content, drop a comment below. Tell me where you're coming from. Tell me if you're a buyer or a seller, and maybe you're an investor. Let's talk about what your goals are and what you're looking for, and let's figure things out. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Remember, this is Michael Baker with the Baker Global team. This is Living the Florida Lifestyle. Have a super day.